Shalom and welcome to Challenging Torah. Look, or ra'eh, see, is how we really begin. We had one Torah portion about listening, Shema, another Torah portion about walking, Ekev. This is about seeing, how you see and what you see. And so Moses, in the middle of his speech, says, "See, I set before you today blessing or curse. Blessing if you obey the commandments of Adonai your God that I enjoin on you this day, and curse if you do not obey the commandments of Adonai your God, but turn away from the path that I have explained to you and follow other gods whom you have not experienced." And then Moses, the theater director, just in case you didn't get it, says, "See that mountain over there? That's Gezirim. That's the mountain of blessing. You could go stand there, or you could go stand on the other mountain, Ibal, the mountain of curse. The choice is yours where you stand. Your life, your society, can be a blessing or a curse, because God is giving you guidelines, rules, that if you follow these rules, your life can be a blessing." Now, when we look at these rules, we say, oh no, this is government interference. This is not going to be America as we know it. The American society is based on life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Judaism is based on what we say in Hebrew, Kol Yisrael Aravim ze lezeh. We're all responsible for each other. It's a very different viewpoint, and one that some of us have difficulty with. But we're told from the beginning, this is a society that needs to take care of all of its members, especially its poor. And how do we start? Very relevant for 2015. Remission of debts. The quote is, "At the end of every 7 years, you shall grant a release. This is the manner. Every creditor shall release whatever he's owed from his neighbor, from his brother, from anyone. 7 years, it's called the Lord's release." Wow. Every 7 years, debt's released. We're looking at the Greek debt crisis all summer. And this comes down to the creditor nation can't get the money back from the debtor nation, but the debtor nation has given many of its resources already to the creditor nation, and it can't generate, and therefore the European Union is now in danger because there are two different value systems going. I have to say that a columnist this week, Roger Cohen, in the New York Times, really got my attention when he said, yes, Greece is the debtor, but Germany has the greatest debt of all, 6 million Jews who died. We can't forget that debt. It's very hard to release it. So the money, this is a very minor question compared to the 6 million. As Jews, we can't help but look at that. We release debt, and not only are we to release the debt, but if there is any poor man among your brothers inside of your gates, I am quoting, of your land that God gives you, you shall not harden your hearts, nor shut your hand from your poor brother, but you shall open your hand, and surely lend him sufficient for his needs. Got to take care of everybody. And then there's a warning, al tanu, don't distress the person who has borrowed the money or take advantage of them. You are warned. I know you can figure out to your 5, and in 2 years they're going to have a remission of this debt, because it's not individual. It's based on, there's a jubilee at 50 years, and then every 7 years they're counted. It's everybody is released at the same time. So don't take advantage or say, I'm not going to lend it to them. This is a difficult concept. And God has said, there will be no poor or needy among you. And then 3 lines later, God says, for the poor shall never cease from the land. That's the reality. Therefore, I command you, saying, you will open your hand wide to your brother. to your poor and to the needy in your land. We face a time in America now where we're looking at extreme disparity between rich and poor. This has grown over the last decades. We are now aware that this is not healthy for society. Remission of debts? What about all of those students who are now adults still carrying huge student loans that they'll never wipe out? And now we know if you live long enough, they take it out of your Social Security. You can't buy a house. You can't educate your own children because you owe so much in interest payments at 8%. There needs to be a remission of debts so that our society can rebalance itself, or we will lose an educated populace, and then we're all standing on the mountain of curse. It's with great insight that God, via Moses, gathers them 3,000 plus years ago on the edge of entering the land and says, take care of the poor. Don't hold on to your debts. Open your heart, and I have your back. I will bring you into the land and you will prosper. The choice is yours. Blessing or curse. Have a good Shabbat, and I hope you see what you need to see.